Hello guys, welcome to Eternal Magic. My name is Coffee and today I want to do a beginner's guide that will hopefully be very useful to a bunch of you guys, as Eternal Magic has a lot to offer, there's a lot to soak in, and it can be a little bit overwhelming to begin with. So in this guide I'm going to be covering the six classes, their main spec and the off spec, just the basics of it so it can help you identify what class you want to play. I'm going to be talking about the interface and how you change abilities. And I'm also going to be talking about the NPCs and in town and some of the functions that they do. Okay, so let's create a new character and we'll talk about different classes here. So the tank knight, he has two specs. He has the warrior, so just a standard stab type of character, and he has the tank off spec. So the warrior, it will definitely, it's strong enough to be able to do endgame content, but it's not as strong as some of the other classes when it comes to DPS. However, its tank spec is by far the strongest tank in the game. He's very, very strong, and he's also he's able to solo a lot of different content like bosses, and he can heal himself. He's just a strong tank overall. The knight is surprisingly very powerful PvP as well. Usually on my tank, I will have absolutely no problems taking on anyone, regardless of the class. Even the mages, as such, as he has some gap closers, and he has the ability to be able to stun, paralyze, and stuff like that. So very strong class indeed. Then we have the swordsman. Swordsman's a physical user. He's a close quarters combat person, but he uses magic as part of his ability. So you don't cast spells, but all of your physical attacks have some sort of element that helps affect. So you want to have your magical attack, speed attack, those kinds of stats for this guy. He is unique in the way that he's got three different types of specs. He's got the fire spec, which in my opinion is the best for leveling and just killing different mobs and stuff. Then he has the ice DPS spec. It's good. It's got a couple of different element changes it can do. It's got a bit of a balance between defense and offense, and the abilities are very flashy and they look really cool. And then he's got his tank off spec. Not as good as the knight, but it's still probably able to do the heroic content and potentially the chaos. I haven't tested it, but based on reading the abilities, they're quite strong. We have the mage. The mage has three different elements that I can use: fire, electricity, ice, etc. And it's very strong in the sense that the DPS is high. It's got a couple of AoEs that are very useful when it comes to dungeons, and it will wipe out a lot of the trash mobs. Its DPS, in my opinion, is probably rank 3 overall. We have the assassin. The assassin it's outrageously strong when it comes to the leveling process. It's probably the fastest. It's very strong for single target damage. Not so much when it comes to AoE, but overall the playstyle and how fun it is for me is probably the most fun. He's able to move around and dash behind targets and stuff extremely fast. The sharpshooter, the gunner. Okay, so it's got two off specs, well, three off specs. He's got the main one would be the pet, so all your abilities will go around one ability, which will basically allow your pet to attack for you, and it actually hits really hard. He's a lot of fun to play because the pets are quite fun, and having all the different pets and seeing what their function is, it's very useful. It's very fun because pets are a big part of the game. Then he has the poison spec, which in my opinion is probably second strongest to the knight, and then probably the swordsman for when it comes to PvP. He's able to kite and place down traps and put down poison and just kite like crazy, and he's very, very hard. If you see a gutter when it comes to PvP, you need to jump on him and take him down very quickly, because if he is the poison spec, you're going to have a hard time on your case. So he's also got heal, which is a little bit strange in my opinion as a sharpshooter. He is able to heal just like the priest does. Obviously this off spec for him, so it's not as good as the priest in my opinion, but still pretty cool. The priest, as I mentioned just a second ago, is the healer. Obviously a priest is a healer, and he has DPS off spec as well, but it's not nearly as good as the other classes, and he will actually need help when it comes to doing certain quests in town, such as the plague quest, which you will need to do 6 times a week if you want to get the good rewards from that quest, because he just simply doesn't have the DPS for it, but his heals will beat the sharpshooter. Okay, so that covers the 6 classes in general. Before we go any further on that, I do want to talk to you quickly about the ultimates. The ultimate doesn't change on the priest. The sharpshooter does have a different type of ultimate. There's the healing ultimate, and then there's the shooter ultimate. The assassin has only one ultimate because both his main spec and his off spec are both DPS. He's the mage. I can't actually remember. Pretty sure, yes, he has different ultimates. I'm fairly certain. Not different, but just based on elements and stuff. The swordsman, yes, he has different ultimates. Ever so slightly. It's about the elements, about the color, the combinations and stuff like that. It looks very cool. The knight has extremely different ultimates. One's a very, DPS related ultimate, and it's doing, throwing spears and doing high DPS and stuff. The other one's extremely tanky. He'll support your members, your allies, and so it's still quite high in DPS. Okay, so I'm gonna go assassin. I'm just gonna call myself Coffee because I'm extremely uninventive when it comes to names. And then let's have a quick look at some of the cosmetics that you can have. You can only just change the face and the hair at the start. But, usually in most games I just skip through this and I regret it later on. Get that beard. And then the cosmetics, the outfits look badass. Look at that. Check that out. It doesn't have a wicked. Love that. Cool. Anyway. Let's jump into the game. We'll go over some of the interface and we'll cover the abilities, how you change abilities, and just some of the things that you know. First of all, you have the WASD option and you have the left mouse button and the right mouse button. If you're a PC user, you're most likely going to use WASD. Yes, I'll skip that. Yes. Okay, so when it comes to questing, there's the auto walk function that is extremely useful. Some people don't like it, but I think it's just useful. It's useful. Just click on the green name on any of your quests, and it will just automatically walk you to your task. Sometimes the auto walk function will not work, or you won't have that actual green option, but usually you will. So you can just keep clicking on that to get through your quest quickly. Yes, yes, yes. He wants me to kill some boars. So the assassin's quite a lot of fun. So I'm going to run around, I'm going to kill these boars, which is what you'll be doing at the start. I don't actually need to explain to you guys how to do this. I'm sure you've all played a few roleplay games in your time. Okay, so you should still be continuing the level. You just run through and you keep doing the quest. It's very, very simple, guys. Just make sure you just keep following the green text, and it will just tell you to kill. Very easy. Now, something I want to point out to you guys here, on the mini-map, we have these resource for battle preparation. See this star here? You're going to see the stars all around the map. Now, I do recommend that you actually go ahead and get them. They're not just items, and it's not just collect it and get stuff like that and get experience, but some of them are brain teasers, and if you do all of them up onto like level 50 levels, they actually start giving you some really cool XP, and they get a lot harder, which is actually pretty interesting. There's this jump challenges, there's this statue-like quest where you go put statues down in certain number combinations, and then there's the color combinations that you got to change over. Okay, so I've just fast-tracked and jumped onto my other character that is my assassin, and now I'm going to show you guys some of the town. So as long as you're doing a quest, you'll eventually end up here in town. This is the only town, the only major town that is in the game. So let's have a look on the map while we're here. First of all, you are in Odom at the start over in this area, and you just go a bunch of quests, and extremely simple. I'm not going to walk you through. And there's the Chaos Swamp. This is the next area that you'll start leveling up. You'll be coming backwards and forwards to the town at all times. So on the map, you can see these little things here with the sword and the shield. When you kill the mobs and do the quest in that area, it'll give you a little bit of XP and a little bit of silver. You don't have to do them. They're not necessary to get to level 60, but if you happen to skip some quests because you've over leveled, then yeah, you can do those and catch up quickly. This is the main city here. So each one of these places, like you can get to Chaos Swamp by walking through here, get to Surrandos by going through the boat portal here, or you can mainly just use a Hero Square portal and teleport around. This is Surrandos. You'll get here at level 48 and it'll get you up to level 60, give or take. And this is Lava Gorge. So this area here is an open world, open map PvP area. So if you run into somebody in town or run into somebody here, they're going to fight you. Yeah, it's a lot of fun, but I suspect you should actually be coming around here with a guild because you don't want to get here and be ganked. Alright, so let's have a look at the interface. Let's go over the skills. not the actual character skills, but just the general interface. Where do we start? So we've gone over the map. You will find that you'll be getting mail all the time for doing all kinds of events and stuff. If you press on the mail symbol and then you just go take all, it will automatically walk you to the mailbox nearby. That's very useful. Take that stuff there. We have the rating system. The rating system is very complicated. There's mentorship points that you can get. So as a mentor or a mentee, you can become a student of somebody else that's level 40 or just much stronger than you are. And then as long as they are with you in the area, they get some XP from whenever you complete quests. And they also get mentorship XP, which they can give back to you once they're level 60. Level 50, I believe it is. They can just right click you and say give XP if they're your student or you're their student, which is extremely useful when it comes to leveling up alts, or when you give XP because your pets need XP later on down the track. Let's have a look at the achievements. So there's a whole bunch of achievements in this game. So many, in fact, there's too many to go over. The achievements, they give you different titles and stuff, and different titles can actually give you stat gains and stuff. So it's worth going through these achievements. And why not? Because achievements are cool. So with the ratings, there's a house function. Obviously, there's a big house that you can build, and you can build a comfort, and when you get comfort, higher comfort, you get energy gain. So this might go over your head a little bit, but basically you need energy to be able to do crafting, and crafting you need to do, because if you don't, you're not going to have enough silver. How do you get energy back? Well, you get energy by doing daily events. So there's Alan's challenge, which is one of those brain teaser things where you have to rush through it and you just get the quickest time you can. So you just kind of dash through twice and you get a quick score. These aren't implemented in the game as far as I'm aware. They've got the rewards here, but I'm not actually sure what they are because there's no details on it. Then we have the instance, which is nightmare ranking. Then we have the battlefields and the MOBA. So battlefield is just PvP, similar to WoW. And then MOBA, well, it's a MOBA. You got stuff on the left and right side of the map that will give you little buffs that you can speed up. You kill the minions that come down the middle. You kill an enemy. You kill his base. A MOBA. Yeah. The battlefields are really cool, though. Make sure you check out the battlefields because the PvP is extremely smooth, and I feel like it's balanced quite well. Then we have the arena combat squad, which doesn't seem to be in the game just yet. We have the super charisma. This is a bit different, but some people don't seem to mind it. It's a function for females to be able to put their pictures up, and then people rate, they love them or something like that. It's all in Russian. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Whether I like it or dislike it, well, that doesn't really matter. Most of you probably would dislike it, but I know some guys will also love it. Okay, so we have the shop up the top right. So, you can buy a bunch of things that are pretty much pay to win. In the consumable tab, buying silver, for example, is a bit silly in my opinion. Then you've got some outfits, which are pretty cool. Mounts, some of these are pretty cool as well. And then you can buy gifts and stuff like that. Then you have the general map just by pressing M. Then down the bottom right, we have the collections tab, mounts, observation, outfit, avatars and stuff. I'll let you guys have a look at some of this stuff. We have the quest log. This is super useful, and I definitely want to stress this, why this is so important. So you will have your normal quest that you actually pick up, and you can go and complete those by pressing that. But the available tab here is what you may not notice at the start. If you happen to get lost at any point, or you didn't actually accept the quest, then you could just go to this area here, tab, and then you can press on this, for example, and it will walk you directly to that quest. So you will never actually get lost. Then we have the mall. The mall is just a shortcut to V. There's multiple currencies in this game. The main currencies are silver and gold. So gold will allow you to buy stuff in this mall, and you can also sell stuff back to the mall. There's extremely useful items in here, so make sure you're familiar with this. Like these runes here are very useful for increasing your stats. You can sell the runes that you don't want. You'll lose out a little bit, but it's definitely worth doing it for the stats that you actually need. Then this is the friends tab, press O. Then we have the guild. So guild's incredibly useful. Oh my god, so overpowered. We have simple details here. You can get like a boss chest after you've been doing so much stuff, like bosses and stuff. Then you get your members tab, history tab, who's joined, the points competition, so you can get some kind of crazy silver shining treasure chests, and those rewards look pretty good. We have the competition that you can hold. There's the glorious battle, and there's the blessings. So this is where I want to talk to you about. Just as a beginner bit, this bit's actually very important for you. So if you join, when you get to level 14, you'll get a quest that tells you to go and join a guild. It's a forced quest, you have to do it. You don't have to join a guild, but you have to do the quest. And that will be down in this area here, you'll walk to. Okay, on your first character, definitely, you want to be doing Diligent Student. So just put 3 points in there. You get 3 points to begin with. Diligent Student gives you 15% increased XP. So that will get you through to level 60 a lot quicker in case you miss dailies and stuff like that. No, we don't want to do that. Alright, let's have a look at crafting really quickly. So the crafting, there is a couple of different ways to increase your crafting level, which I will go over in a separate guide. But basically, you want to use your energy in order to craft different items and sell that on an auction house. Skills. Okay, so by pressing P, you can open up the skill interface. Depending on your level is when you unlock different abilities. You can select, 1 or 2, and you can change them any point as long as you're not in combat at the time. Some of them you need to have a target, some you do not. I have done a class guide for each class, and I've put some full builds for PvP, PvE, etc. For this build right here on my assassin, this is the PvE build that dashes around very quickly and wipes out enemies. Not very good for PvP, but for PvE, it's very good. This is the awakening skills that I was mentioning before, right at the start. The assassin only has the 1 lot of awakening skills, but if you change your stance on any other character, the awakening skills actually change slightly, and all their abilities change as well. So this is the passive section down here. Passives will affect the main skills, and then the QER will kind of affect the passives and stuff as well. Alright, up on that one. There's the general bag interface. So in this game, you're going to be struggling on bag storage, and you're going to have to get some bags. Ideally, you can buy them from the guy down here. Little shop there that should be able to sell them to you, but you need a currency that's not yet. I won't go into that right now. You'll most likely get 4 or 5 bags, I think you get when you're leveling for free, so you can open it up a little bit more. Other than that, you can come to this storage house here, and you can store some items into it. Like I said, though, storage is very strict at times, and you'll wish that you had a lot more storage. And that's where, if you're going to purchase crystals, that's where you'll spend the crystals. Where else do we have? Okay, so we have pets. Pets are incredibly useful. Guys, pets are useful. Useful. I can't stress enough how useful they are. Now, when it comes to MapleStory 2, people didn't realize how important pets were. Even though the knowledge was out there, it's not the case. Pets are very useful, okay? Make sure you do your pets. So this is the pets guy over here. We'll go back and look at the other stuff in a second. So in here, you can get multiple pets and you can send them away on quests. Similar to the garrison quests and stuff in WoW. You send them away and you get some money bags, you get some treasure maps and stuff like that. And they're very, very good. You can get these in different ways. You can only get so many a day, but this will save you a lot of time to send, you'll send some away on quests in order to get the bags, but then you'll go and complete the treasure quests daily in order to get the rest. And that way you only have to play the game for half hour, an hour, or something like that if you're in a rush. Not only that, but they get different items that you can equip onto the pets, and they're actually really strong. Like, they do a lot of damage. They will probably do the same amount of damage as your character. So it's worth investing into the pets and getting the pets that you want. Each different pet does different abilities, as well as, they have different potential stats. You can reset them with certain items. There's a whole lot to talk about with pets. And there's actually a whole bunch of different types of pets. So 6 pages here. You've got the rare, and then you've got the epic ones, which, are much better, obviously. Okay, so let's have a look at the Equipment Master really quick. I've covered all of this stuff in different guides. So there's basically, there's like 6 or 7 different ways that you can enhance your stats. And it's really quite a lot to take in. So I've had to go and do a separate guide for the Equipment Master and the Enhancement Check, for example. And I've just talked about just those to really break it down. So this guy here will allow you to basically upgrade your gear and give you extra stats on each piece of gear. But it's not, he doesn't just do that. He also rechanges the stats based on certain items and stuff like that. This dude here, he will increase your actual body parts. For example, by using a weapon, the stats are a little bit bugged, so unfortunately that is not very useful. But the spirit, whenever you see spirit, you want to get that every day. You can get 2,000 spirit by killing monsters daily, and you also get spirit by completing just dailies, events, and a bunch of different areas, and by getting soul stones, for example, and getting 1,500 spirit, just like that. But it's very useful. You have your auction house here that is game controlled, so you can just go and bid stuff there. We talked about the pets here a little bit. You know, you can go into the pet master and you can upgrade your pet quantities and your qualities. You need the extra fragments to do it, and that's how you increase their level. We have the astrology chick over here, the Isabella. Let's talk about her first. So we have cards. This is not a card game. You're not playing with cards. You're just, in fact, spending more silver to get cards to increase your stats. Like I said, separate guide. It takes a few minutes to explain all the functions of this. Then we have astrology. This is yet another way to increase your stats. So when you upgrade these, this will increase your base stat of this. For example, if I upgrade this now, not enough XP apparently. Right, because of my pet, because I'm already up too high. So that's another whole function that I need to talk about in the guide. So yeah, when you level up these, this will increase the basic of this one. For example, will increase this base stat. Anyway, more damage, more money, more silver, more everything. And then this guy here will allow you to put runes into your gear. So, you know, that's a standard function in a lot of different games now. But obviously, how to get runes, well, that changes a little bit. And I've cracked a couple of tips in the other video I just did. And then we have this person here. Okay, we're getting around the circle. We have the sacrifice to gods. This is a lot to take in. Don't waste your money to sacrifice at the start, guys. Just save your silver, learn what these actually do, and realize that the gains that this person gives is quite minimal and you don't want to focus on her. Not at the start anyway. This person here, the item dismantler, will allow you to put items in and what is he having? Get that out. You can dismantle these because you need the stardust in order to be able to use the stardust at the astrology person, as well as it's going to take a lot of room very quickly if you don't dismantle your gear. This is the standard auction house. You need to have the art objects for the sacrifice for the god, the one over here, the priest of gods. Then you get craft materials that's needed for the equipment master. Then you need the chance area for the chant master, and then you have food, which are buffs. So you can get all of those items through dailies, treasures, and stuff like that, and crafting. It goes back to the energy system. So there's so much to talk about internal magic that I could just ramble on all day long, and you know it would take you to watch it twice to be able to fully understand it. So it's amazing how much content this game has to offer compared to other games, and this is free to play. So you know it's pretty cool. Okay, so we've covered the interface. Most of the interface. We've covered the stats themselves and changing them around. Yeah, check out the other guides, the class guides that I put up. But you know, it's pretty easy going from level 1 to 60. You're just going to be checking out new abilities and trying out what you like, and then we'll work out what's the ideal way to build later on. The last thing that I wanted to show to you guys is the Chaos Crystal. So obviously there's the challenge, there's the tutorial, MOBA, battlefields, Chaos, Heroic, and normal instance. You got to be doing this when you hit level 60 to get more gear, but the thing that's really, really important that you try and complete daily is the events. So right now, for example, you can see that in my server time, it's 9 AM. So you need to have a look at this event page every day, and you can have a look down here to see what's happening the following days, and you can see that you get different rewards based on what event that you're doing. So some of these are really, really cool. The rewards are really cool. So it's worth actually keeping an eye on this stuff. Now, as you can see down the bottom here, where it says blue, so the blue is going to be a decent amount of XP, but sometimes you'll find the purple, and it will be lots of XP. So depending on what you're going for and what you need at the time, you can identify what events that you should be going for based on color. You want to do these quests, for example, the mercenary quest. You need to do this because you need to get the scrolls for treasure chests. Or the treasure maps, sorry, that will give you lots and lots of useful items. Those items will be used for enchanting and stuff. So you do all of these events in order to support your PvE habits, in order to get items to be able to support your PvP habits. So the end game is the raids and the heroic dungeons, the chaos raids and stuff, and PvP. So that's why you want to do all these daily events. as well as completing each one of them give their own separate rewards. They also give you these chest boxes here that gives you energy. It gives you tactic guidebooks. Those tactic guidebooks are used for increasing spirit. Over here, what's this guy here? I've forgotten his name. Over here, the Priest of Gods. Basically, you know, that's what the tactic books will do. There's multiple ways in order to increase her. So, like, I just can't explain it all in one guide. There's so much to it. But yeah, 100%. Make sure that you spend some time looking at this event page here and really understanding it. So we've got this patrol quest, for example. You know, it's saying that I can do it all day. The participation level, you have to be level 30 to do it. There's 15 quests to do. It takes like 10 minutes to do it, but it's worth doing it because you get spirit, soul stones, you get lots of experience, and you get the explorer coupons, which you need to be able to do your pets. The mercenary quest, like I said, treasures, definitely do it. Treasure map quest, just press the go to function and we'll go straight to them. Okay. It just depends on what time that they're open and stuff like that. The sacrifice to gods, you know, you can do that. How many times you can participate a week, and then it says what the reward is. The instance, if you did it 3 times, it's not 90 dungeons. You get 30 tokens per, or 30 activity each instance you do, but you get lots of XP and you get a random piece of quality weapon. Well, piece of gear in general. So not only do you get really good rewards, but you get this here, 480 energy at the end of it. The reward box is very useful, as well as the energy you need, absolutely need, guys. Very, very important. You need to get the energy to be able to produce lots of these. I wouldn't produce the enchantment stones because of the stardust, but you actually just level up your crafting to level 2, and you make yourself different types of crafting items that you sell in the auction house to other players. It's those people that aren't actually focused on the energy. They're the ones that are going to run out of silver, and then they're not going to be able to upgrade the gear anymore, but you're going to be able to continue upgrading your gear. I think that pretty much covers everything that you need to know as a beginner. That covers most of the interface, you know, and the general core gameplay. A lot of the other stuff, you know, you're going to have to look at the other videos, or you're going to have to spend a bit of time in order to, you know, understand their purposes properly. But yeah, that's pretty much the game in a nutshell. Lots of dungeons, lots of PvE for, like, you know, the heroic dungeons and stuff. And you're going to need pre-made groups, and then lots of PvP. And like I said, that's a hell of fun. It's a lot of fun. And enchanting your gear like crazy in so many different ways. Thank you for watching. Make sure to check out our other videos. You can support the channel by showing the love and commenting below and checking out those we are affiliated with. You can also get access to all our different social medias, which I'll link down below. Until next time, coffee out.